Patrick Kane is easily the greatest American-born hockey player of all time. I still believe Chris Chelios is the greatest American-born player of all time. And when you look at the longevity of the career, the effectiveness deep into his career, everything he's won, everything he's accomplished, Chris Chelios to me was one of the defensemen that kind of reinvented the game. Like, he kind of became a prototype for what a modern era NHL defenseman should be. People said that about Duncan Keith. People are saying it about Cale Makar. Obviously, Bobby Orr was really the guy who changed the way NHL defensemen play. That was the biggest, like, oh my God, it's totally different now. But Chelios is one of those guys. And for me, with some time to like zoom out on it, reflect on it, I still have Chelios as the greatest American-born player ever. You got to remember, he finished 6th in the Norris voting when he was 38. He won a Norris at 35, or 34 rather. He was a dynamite player for a really long time. And 1,651 games, 948 points as a defenseman is nothing to sneeze at, especially considering he spent 2,891 games in the penalty box. Or minutes in the penalty box.
Yeah, he's the most games played by an American-born player, regular season. Most games played in the playoffs by an American-born player, 266. Most assists by an American-born player in the playoffs, 113.
That's wild. By the way, for the record,
Patrick Kane has 85 assists in the playoffs. So he's got almost 30 more.
That's what happens when you go to Detroit.
Exactly.
Things fall apart.
You don't get to pad those playoff numbers.
He will this year. Chris Chelios spent 48.18 games in the penalty box based on penalty minutes.
That's why he was able to play so long.
Yeah. It's a half a season. Yeah. To me, he's
more games than Thatcher Demko's played in the last 3 years combined.
It's pretty amazing, though, that both these guys spent the best years of their career as Hawks and the tail end of the year as Red Wings. By the way, this always bothers me. Chris Chelios spent 10 years in Detroit, only 9 in Chicago. More games played in Chicago, but more seasons in Detroit in his 26-year season. 10 with Detroit, 9 with Chicago, 7 in Montreal, and 1 with
the Atlanta Thrashers.
Your Atlanta Thrashers.
Exactly. Chicago Wolves. Yeah, I mean, got to remember when the Hawks got Chris Chelios, it wasn't like he was this young kid. He was an established Norris Stanley Cup winning Norris Trophy veteran at that point, 7 years. So they got him in his prime. And who knew that his prime was going to last 18 years?
He was 29 when he joined the Hawks.
Yeah. And hadn't even played his best hockey yet.
Yeah.
Just the way that he played, and he played the same way his entire career, to play as long as he did at such a high level. The physicality he played with, but he also, was a really good skater, good offensive player too. So, Patrick Kane is the greatest American-born forward of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Chelios is the greatest American-born player. And there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of great names, when you start talking about American-born players. Brian Leetch I think is in the conversation. A guy to me that I think is the most underrated American-born player of all time is Joe Mullen. Who 500 goal scorer that nobody ever talks about. So lots of great players, and the way that USA hockey has grown over the past decade. How long is it going to be that? Okay, say we settle on it. Patrick Kane's the greatest American-born player of all time. How long does he get to hold that title?
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, there's
Auston Matthews is, if he continues the way he's playing,
Auston Matthews will be the greatest American goal scorer of all time.
I agree with that. And maybe the leading scorer, but I'm not ready to call him the best. Even if he does break the Kane scoring record,
he's got to win. He's got to win the playoffs.
I got to see.
Like
part of the reason on the shelf.
Chelios has got is held in high regard. He won Stanley Cups. Patrick Kane's got 3. I know Brett Hall's technically not an American-born player, but he's American citizen.
For the record, Brett Hall, who played for U.S. teams,
right,
is the all-time leading U.S. scorer,
right?
With
but he wasn't
1391.
He was born in Canada,
but he was born in Canada. So U.S. born is
but
the.
But you get. There are those guys won cups. Mike Modano, he won a cup.
Yep.
I think for Auston Matthews to really get in that conversation, sure, he's going to finish with more goals than Patrick Kane. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's only like 28 behind him now.
Yeah.
But he's got to win in the playoffs. He's got to get out of the second round. And he's not going to do that until he starts playing for another team, unfortunately. And the fact that he's playing his whole career in Toronto, where, hey, Chelios, Blackhawks, Red Wings, American teams.
Yeah.
Red Wings, Blackhawks, American team. Same thing with Patrick Kane. When you go and be the face of a franchise in Canada, people forget you're an American-born player.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, too, is you could argue.
Oh, I'm going to argue.
That Auston Matthews is already the greatest Maple Leaf.
Well, I would say he has to win a cup, but not many of them have.
Yeah, but
I mean, not since color TV was invented. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely in that conversation. Matt Sundin, to me, until Auston Matthews showed up, Matt Sundin was the best Maple Leaf I ever saw play. You can go back and talk about your Tim Hortons and George Armstrongs, those guys, but they played in a different era. That they played in an era where the Leafs actually won, so it was a really, really, really long time ago.
I guess it's probably premature to call him the best Leaf ever, but he is certainly on that trajectory.